Then after coming back and after counting the money and after setting up the money for the day, for the next day, Rama take his dinner and rest on the pool which was outside his home. And he sometimes he starts dreaming about the health inspector, or sometimes the traffic police who forces him to leave his place and force him to move inside the lane. But in reality that doesn't happen really, because Rama knows how to take care of people. For the traffic inspector, he sometimes gives him a packet or some offering, so that the traffic police doesn't really create problems in Rama's life. And sometimes he gives a packet or two to the manual workers who works in the health department. No doubt sometimes the the food inspectors came there and watched his thing and complains that you must put these things under a glass ceiling, because or in a glass box, which is general practice nowadays, but Rama did not do that at that time. It was almost open, and the health inspector always becomes very amused. Actually, he is very surprised that even after eating this kind of things, even after eating such unhealthy things, people can survive it, because there was a gutter running behind him, the dust and smoke of other things, the dust and smoke of the moving vehicles, and sometimes even the occasional coughing of people who used to buy his things. But it never really, there was hardly any news that after eating Rama stuff anybody has gotten ill or anybody has suffered any major diseases. Even the health official is surprised that people used to thrive on those things. Means people has actually increased who are eating Rama's food regularly. It is almost that everybody has developed a kind of immunity and nothing will happen from Rama's food. Now, it can be said that Rama lived a very happy life or a very satisfied life. He was not unhappy with his life and he was doing very good in his business. But it's always can be said that people who are very satisfied or people who is developing at a very fast rate, it's almost like that God doesn't like such thing to happen to people. So there is a sense in portion always. If someone is doing very badly, those days will also not last very long. Similarly, if someone is doing very well, then that thing will also not very last for long. There will always be a sense, and it is almost like that God became very jealous of Rama, and one day finally it happened that on the spot where Rama used to do his business, there was a congregation of people or a mass gathering of people, and they were quarreling amongst themselves. Rama tried to take his place, but everybody was unmoved, and there was a fighting right in front of him. There was a slapping, there was a kicking, and after some time police came. Police ordered lathi charge, then they used tear gas shells, then some other when provoked by the situation seemingly went out of control, and from one thing led to another, and then ultimately there was firing by police to control the mob, and in that firing few people died. The official number and unofficial numbers were quite different. So, as in the case, as we all know, there was one point before the digital or commercial medium came, there was always one unofficial count of the death of a accident, and there was one official count of death. The official count was generally used to be lesser than the unofficial count, and the unofficial count sometimes also surpassed the original mark, actual mark, but the official count used to always be very low, so that government have to place less compensation to people. The crowd who were fighting among themselves, suddenly the cinema crowd also got out. Someone told them that there is a fight, and the people rushed outside, and it was chaos almost on the street, and people for all parts of the city came and started joining the fight, and the police had no other option but to fire on people finally, and the unofficial count said that almost 3,000 people died. The official count maintained that only 5 were injured and 1.25 were killed. So, after that, Rama, who was hiding under a culvert, came out when everything was almost silenced. He came out and went to his home. The very next day, he prepared almost half his stuff, as he told his wife that I don't know if there will be any people. And on that day also, Rama, when he tried to set up his shop on the place, there was a huge cordon of police, so he was unable to set up his store on that spot. So he moved a bit inside the land, and the people or his usual customers, there was nobody there. Almost there was more policemen than people coming outside. So the business was not very good. Then after few days, when the situation almost became normal and the people started getting out, and when the place where Rama usually sits was not sealed, Rama went there and tried to set up his shop, but few people came running to him and said that you cannot set up the shop here anymore. Then he asked, why not? I have been setting my shop here for a very long time now. Why cannot I set up my shop? Then the people said that no, because in this spot a great leader of ours had been killed by police, which is very unfortunate, and even the municipality has handed the place to us, and so from now on there will be a great statue or a great memorabilia of our leaders, and you cannot sit here. We will build a memorabilia by public's money or by the money of our. And Rama had to go deep into the land, and this was kind of an end for his business, because the main thing which was sustaining his business was his spot, and the spot, once the spot was gone, most of his customers also went away. At first, the cinema crowd who used to came out and saw Rama and started buying things, they could not see him because he was moved further inside the land, and they used to go to the crazy fellow who was now going in the opposite direction of the whose place was on the opposite side of the road, and now suddenly his person turned and everybody was going to him because he was the nearest shopkeeper. So Rama was not even seen because he went further inside the land. Then the Jutka drivers who used to buy his stuff also had